How you doing, Billboard Korea? My name is Derrick Milano, songwriter, artist, and producer, and I worked with some of the biggest artists in the world, such as Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, BTS, the list goes on. I worked on BTS's new project, ARIRANG, and I worked on 2.0, Hooligan, Aliens, Normal, the single Swim, and Merry-Go-Round. Honestly, words aren't even enough to explain. Since the first session that we had together, it's just been off instant, been receptive on both sides. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit starstruck myself because you never really get to meet superstars. I was a little bit nervous because I was wondering like, wow, they know who I am. You know what I'm saying? To know that they're the biggest boy group and one of the biggest groups ever, and the fact that they embraced me spoke volumes, and we collaborated. And I think when it came to putting these records together, everybody knew their role and everybody knew what part to play. I went in there and I did what I had to do. Went to the Netflix event and we watched them perform it live. And that even made it more dope because the same moves that they were doing when we were recording some of those records in the studio were the same dance moves that they were doing when I was recording those songs and those melodies in the studio. So it just brought me back to like, wow, this is where it all started and this is where it's at. And now the whole world is seeing it and the whole world is receiving it. And it's just it's a very big moment, not only for myself, but for the world, for the culture, for Korea, for America, and for the people. And I think, you know, it's the beginning. And with that record, it led to Megan putting out other records, and she and her team, they ended up doing Savage. When she did Savage, it was over quarantine. I got a phone call from, they said, hey, do you think that you can get to a studio to work on something? And I was like, what's that? And they said Beyonce wants to do a verse on the Savage remix. There was no studios because it was COVID, and I had to go record myself. I remember I was actually in Koreatown in LA. I was at my apartment at the Radius, and I had to go in my closet. I had to pull out all my old studio equipment. I recorded in my kitchen about 4 takes of a verse that Beyonce would later use on Savage. It broke records. It was everywhere. It catapulted Megan's career. I think at that Grammys, at the 63rd Grammys, Beyonce ended up breaking one of her records. Yep, she ended up breaking one of her records, and that night we walked away with 3. I was able to use this, show other songwriters and other producers and other creators and other people who are like myself, who just work hard, who continuously put in the work, that everything is possible. It kind of goes back into what we were talking about with working with BTS. They trusted me.
Chorus, actually. I don't know if you've heard Young Creative Crew.
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay.
See, they get it. See, I love the alternative sound of it. I love the underground feel of it. Like, they get it. And it's like I said, it's like they take chances, but they know how to make a record. Yeah. Yeah. When I was in the studio with them and they were playing me some of the stuff on their Spotify, like the music they listening to, I could definitely hear like the flows, the cadence. They love that. Like, that's so important to them.
Who do you think their main influences?
I mean, they talk about Playboi Carti a lot. They also like Yeat. They were talking about Yeat. Yeah, they get it. That production is crazy too. Rather is that. Yeah, that's fire.
Watch this beat go, we hooligan, we pop out.
To be honest, everybody just knew their part. I know that with J-Hope, he was really influenced by rap. Like, he was the first one who came up to me and was just talking about the rapping. And I know he was talking about the record that he did with Glorilla that he was excited about. He was just open. He was just like, yo, I heard you do the dope rap, so you know what I'm saying, I'm anxious to see what we can do. But you know what the biggest part about it is with them is that even though it's so many members, they all treat each other with the same respect. It's not like a race to get stuff done. It's like, okay, you go, then I'm gonna go. If I could do better, then let me know. And working with all of them, like I said, it was, I mean, to be real, if we're being honest, they're perfectionists. So a lot of the times they would do it so good, and I would think that was it, but then they would go back in and do it even better. And they would go back in and do it even better. And I think that shows a lot when it comes to the creative process, because some people will just go one time and then just be like, okay, next. But you can see and you can feel like how serious they are about the music. They're very intentional about the lyrics. They're very intentional about the pockets of how they're doing it, especially because a lot of these records they're performing. And I think that that's another reason why their fans and their supporters, shout out to the Army and the whole world watching them on Netflix, as a team, they took the time to like ask each other, so what was your favorite song? What was your favorite song? Oh, your verse was hard. Oh, that was your favorite song because that was your song. And that type of stuff you don't really see. Like I said, I think the biggest part for me working with them is just really like, it's just, and they really love creating music. It's not, it doesn't seem like they're in it for the money. It doesn't seem like they're in it for clout. It doesn't seem like they're in it. It seems like they really genuinely and passionately love music. I think we need to see that more because it's a gift from God that we have. And we can't take it for granted because at any point in time it can get taken away. So when you do have the opportunity and you do have the luxury and you do have the pleasure to work with amazing people and you're able to put this stuff out, take advantage of it. And I think they take advantage of it to the fullest extent, from their music videos to the performance to the recording to the engineering to who they collaborate with. They use it to the fullest extent. And I think that's why it's so receptive and it's performing the way it is, because go above and beyond for their work and their process and their product. What's next for me is building with as many new groups and artists in Korea are presented to me, and the options are open for me. I'm treating this moment like I'm starting over in my career because I'm in a whole different region. I'm in a whole different place right now. I'm a part of arguably one of the most biggest selling albums, pop albums. Well, I can say this, I'm learning from them. And I think that helps me when it comes to working with everybody else, because they're putting me on to new things. I'm understanding their thought process, especially them being younger than me. I'm able to kind of just add my texture and add my expertise and my genius on top of their genius that they already know, just to make the music bigger and the sound extensive to go and stretch for generations to different generations. I think Cordis is extremely talented. Their team is amazing, and they are some of the most coolest kids I've met, and they love music just as much as I love music, and I'm excited for them. I'm excited to watch the growth, especially seeing the success of BTS, to be able to be a part of their career early on and to see where it's gonna go. It's an extreme privilege, and the album is on the way, so you're gonna hear what it sounds like.